Great Rise YouTube. Oh my goodness. Just humble me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. Yeah. Ra is up in the sky this morning. I saw it come up. And I said, Ra isn't. Yeah. When I was a child, I was called mentally disturbed by family members because even as a teenager, I couldn't understand. I kept saying the sun and the sun and the sun and the sun. You know, S-U-N, S-O-N, S-U-N. And my friend said, no, that's not it. One is the sun in the sky, and then the other is the son of, and it goes into the cult. And I was like, well, it's said the same way. It's alleged to be the same thing to my mind. And then in my 30s, I really got into Egyptology. And Ra, that's what they call the sun. And I can choose what I call the sun. I can choose what I call the sun. And I call it Ra. And I say Ra isn't, because it is ends every day. It is ends and on, because the sun comes up. Now, after I close my eyes, it don't come up for me, but maybe it still comes up for other people. So great rising. Thanks for coming on the walk. So now I'm seeing that my issue with FB is very likely. Hold on, YouTube, don't keep walking. The issue is very likely so we're just gonna go to, no, we're gonna keep that. We're gonna go to the camera. We're gonna go to the camera, y'all. And we're just gonna, give me a minute. But give me a minute. I hear that little baby bird calling his mother. Don't you hear it? Oh, maybe it's good background. Okay, we're back. We're recording. Hope I got enough space. Hey, thanks for coming on the walk. So we're talking about Ra is, honey. So, I feel so good because I did the podcast. I finished the podcast. Episode 5. It was the hardest thing with the computer, basically with the computer. As an artist, I'm creating, I'm doing the podcast, it's like a puzzle, I'm making puzzle pieces, and then all of a sudden, I had a problem with the computer. And then I got to stop and call Apple and stay on the phone with Apple. Oh my gosh. So, the last time I had to take everything off the computer, save it onto an external hard drive. I'm talking about the podcast, y'all, called Pond Moves First, that I edit, produce, and etc., etc. It's about the show we put together to teach the basics of chess through music, movement, and song. And I'm talking about the back end of it. And that's the podcast. Well, I'm also lifting up the kids that are there. I try to get in contact with them. I try to get interviews, but we're going on, honey, because I tell you, I exercise and I work out, but I am no fool to myself. Days days are numbered. So I want to get that out in podcast form. You know, we had it in video form, we call it Neighbors, and we were traveling all around to teach a chess song and chess professionals we had. And so I'm doing the podcast, and I'm in the iMovie because that's the program I know how to use. And I use that for my voiceovers and stuff, and just for the podcast. And it kept going, and I kept spending so much time with Apple. And it's so strange. When I bought it, it was in March. I said to them, I said, is there another Apple or another MacBook Pro book coming out anytime this year? And of course they assured me, no, this is one we have left. And this is like, please, I remember when it was 2 or 3 years old. Don't ask. And you see the Camacho at the last name. Anyway, I got it. And it was either off the showroom floor or was sent back so many times, and that I wound up with it. So I kept my other Apple, my MacBook Pro, 10 years, because when I went to buy it, I had a gentleman with me. I had Matthew. He was with me, so he knew how to ask all the questions. This time when I brought it, it was over the phone, and they just needed to empty the warehouse. So I knew to put that extra insurance on so I could call Apple. And being a creative person, when you get technical, when you get techie, like I stayed an hour on the phone with Apple, just doing tech stuff and computer, and then link this and then do this and go click here and did it. And then when I get finished, my creativity is so far gone. It's like it jumped on a freaking bike and rode out of town, honey. So then I gotta deprogram the whole tech thing and try to get back into the creativity of making the podcast. So, episode 5 has been like 3 weeks. I had to empty everything off. I had to empty everything off the computer, put it on an external hard drive. Keep my fingers crossed. Uninstall iMovie. Reinstall another iMovie. And guess what? Same thing and issues. Same thing. Same issues. Same exact issues. So, yesterday I wasn't going to do it. I said I gotta stay creative. I can't go on that tech side. So as soon as I said tech side, guess what came to my mind? The It Crowd. I don't know if you looked at it on Netflix or YouTube. It's about these techs working in the basement of this big conglomeration, of a conglomerate, and they're in the basement. And they're the tech. And computers are basically new. But every time the departments called down to tech, they said, turn the computer off and on. Did you turn the computer off and on? Is the computer on? That's all they said all the way through. I loved it. I laughed. I thought it was great. The It Crowd. So I'm sitting there, and the first same old problem, Comes up. Okay, one problem was solved. I could split the clips. Couldn't do that before. So as of right now, I can split clips. And, but the other things, so in my head, the it crowd came. And they said, turn the computer on. So I came out the app, restarted the computer, went back in, problem solved. But I didn't go back out. Came out, 10 minutes, I waited, and I went back in. Problem solved. Okay, so now I'm cooking, I'm smoking, but now I can't take anything from the documents and what do they call it? Import. I can't import the media. I'm trying. Can't do it. And then the it crowd came and said, turn your computer on and off. So I got out the program and I turned the computer off and I waited 10 minutes. 4.5 hours later. 4.5 hours later. Oh, I had 12-minute podcast. Palm moves first. It could have been longer, especially when I listened back to it. I was like, oh, I can go and get it and put this. And I was like, no, that's how the problem started. If you go back and get and put that in, that's going to knock everything out. And then as you try to regain it, and you undo, and you undo, you wind up undoing some really important stuff. So then, you gotta come out the app, shut it off, wait 10 minutes, put it back on, go back into the app, and then try to rearrange everything and get everything back. So at 12 minutes, it's really good. So many more things I could have put in. So much, maybe more clarity. But you can go to Neighbors TV, Chess Song, and you can look at the show. But I felt good that I got that episode down. And I'll have 6 out. I already know what 6 is going to be about. As long as I don't have to get techie, I can keep being creative and keep doing episodes. But when I have to become my own Apple tech-like, or I have to work with Apple techs, creativity jumps on a bike and gets the hell out of Dodge. And it can take me weeks. Every time I look at that computer, after with the text, I'm like, oh no. And so I had some of that yesterday. I was like, oh please, I don't want to stay 2 hours on the phone with a tech, please. I don't want to do 2 hours on the phone with an Apple tech. I can't. I don't want to do 15 minutes. I don't want to do no time. I know I paid for it, but I don't want to do no time with them. Because I have to come into that logical brain. What is that? The right brain? Logical, and arts is left. So I have to get right brain. And then after I solve the problem with the computer, every time I look at it, I think tech, and no creativity comes. I opened it up and I started trying to work on the podcast. And then at the slightest glitch, I was like, no, I don't want to do tech. I don't want to do tech. So then I got to shut it down again. And then, just when my back was against the wall, it's been 3 weeks, I think, since I put out a podcast episode. And that I went ahead and did it. Creativity was able to take over and make it happen. Because I refused to do tech. I kept doing the iCloud. Get out the application, turn the computer off and on. Turn the computer off, wait 10 minutes. Put the computer back on, go back into the app. And it worked. So when I was trying to move something, I couldn't move it. I couldn't get it to do anything I wanted it to do. I'd stop. Get out of the app. Turn off the MacBook Pro. Wait 10 minutes. And go back in. And 4.5 hours later, I had an episode. Yay! Yay! I got an episode. I just introduced the Allegra dance group. But they're going to be with us. And they were in Neighbors for all 7 seasons. So, there's that. In my quest to find kids singing, dancing to the chess song, I realized that I had Allegra, and they will freestyle to the chess song. So that's what I had in my mind when I wrote. I don't know if y'all know Traveling Across America, if they still have those type programs where the white kids used to come off the bus and they used to go into the schools and sing and dance and do like cabaret shows and stuff like that. And then at the end, they would break down into groups with us. And we were so happy to have the performer like one-on-one and a crowd like 10 of us and one performer. And then as a child, and I think this is in middle school and definitely in high school in South Carolina. And then as a child in East New York, we used to have the 18-wheelers roll up and set up as a stage with the spotlights and everything. And at night, they would do Broadway shows. Yeah. It was real nice. So, when I wrote the chess song as a way of teaching, as an after-school program proposal to make learning the basics of chess pretty easy, I went and in my head when I wrote the chess song, I thought about that too. What about kids across America just singing it? That's the chess song. You just go in, you do the movements, how the chess pieces go, and and you sing the song, and you move from high school to high school to high school, or middle school or middle school, or elementary school and elementary school, and it'd be this traveling, chess program, and then whatever school we went into, we would have like boxes of chess sets, and we would give them out to you, and then people would play chess with the participants at Chess Across America, because the other one was something across America, I couldn't think. But that's what I was, Chess Across America, critical thinking across America. And the kids would get chessboards. How cool is that? And learn the chess song, and plus we got a DVD, and that's what I saw in my head. Listen to the podcast, and I'll tell you the reality of it. And I'm so proud of me because I kept like this smile on my face. Also, I figured episode 5 may have been hard for me because that was the realization that I wouldn't have a dance troupe wouldn't have kids singing and dancing to the chess song. More. Anyway, listen to the podcast because I did it. I did it. I did it. Yes. Thank you, It Crowd. Thank you, It Crowd. Ha! Listen, did you turn your computer on? They used to call and say, my computer isn't working. They said, did you turn the computer on? Oh! And then they say, my computer isn't working. They said, turn it on and off. Turn it on and off. Turn it off. Put it on. Is it plugged in? Did you plug it in? Is it plugged in? So that's what got me through the 5th episode of The Pond Moves First. And I'm all so happy. And we're at a 20-minute water break, y'all. Whoa. I'm walking, so happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. I just want to let you know that y'all see, because I gotta drink some now. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Yeah, let's knock this walk out, y'all. Let's knock this walk out. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So I felt really good about that. So that's one of my note things. Oh, and then, I'll tell you something. When I was growing up, there used to be jokes, all the late night men shows, all the comedy shows on TV, sitcoms. They used to say, well, women can't be president because she'll have her menstrual cycle and she'll blow up she'll create a war, she'll start a war. Or women are so moody. They can't be trusted with the atomic bomb. They get in a fight with their husband, they'll blow up the whole world, blah, blah, blah. Women weren't allowed to be bus drivers. So stupid. Women have no idea how to drive a car, a truck. They don't have the mental capacity. Blah, 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 blah. Women can't Women can't. That's why I grew up around. Because men own the TV stations and they were the comics and stuff like that. But let's look at it as real. And I'm a true crime person. And I look at the stats. But let me tell you something. Men kill women for sex all the time. That dick gets hard and they can't release themselves. They kill to get that release. That lust, they kill. And this is real. Now there's bus drivers. I've never seen a lady bus driver, or I've never been reported an accident. She had a car accident because she had her menstrual cycle. I don't even know if there's women who drive trains, because in a man's mind, only men can drive trains because they're more responsible. But if that dick get hard, he ain't thinking about driving no train. He's not thinking. The last thing on his mind. So it's all lies. Again, all lies. Women can't drive. They don't have the mental capacity to handle a car. While y'all was off dying in your pissing contests, who do you think was driving the cars? Who do you think was doing all this stuff? And that's what kills me. I look back at World War I and II. They went to war and the ladies went to the factories and they had to keep the whole country moving. But then when the war was over, they were back to being stupid women, barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. I don't understand it. Then World War II came. And the men was off to their pissing contest, dying for their pissing contest. And then women were here, holding down the jobs, keeping stuff moving, raising the kids. And then when World War II was over, she was back to being a stupid hoe. They can't do nothing. Then the Korean War. And men went off to the pissing contest again. But less and less men because they're dying in the wars. So instead of stopping wars, they're just going to make women produce more babies. Because the wealthy need wars. Women can't run government. They run households. They run households. Behind those facades with the wife smiling and the two kids and the husband, and they got the house and they got the nice cars and everybody smiling, that's a lot of motherfucking credit. Good credit, don't mix up good credit with wealthy or rich. Go more towards Ponzi's. There's wealthy people make good, decent money off of ideas that they do. I'm not taking anything away from them. I see it with these young girls. When I look at Black Girls Unlost, what I see the most is these young women entrepreneurs. They're selling their wigs, they're putting them together, they're doing their clothes, they're doing their sewing tutorials, they are doing makeup, they are doing everything. And then they meet a man. And he's so happy that she's doing everything. But he only needs her for sex. He don't need her doing everything. That's all he wants her for. That's what he was trained for. And then the next thing you know, she dead. Too independent. So men kill women all the time, and men will kill. So I don't understand why they're the ones that can have their finger over the button, but we can't. How can they get blue balls? That's all they're thinking about. They used to say the slimy orange stain, what he felt like it would rub a butt on a titty. That's what all those lust is. It's not always sex. It's the fact that you're sitting down at a table and the next thing you know, some man's hand is between your legs. That's molestation. I think they call it penetration assault. And Lord have mercy. At that South Carolina, that Baptist church in Charleston that I went to, a lot of them folks, definitely that pastor, would be behind bars. I don't know if he ever did penetration, but I know I felt slimy for a long time, and I haven't forgot about it to this day. It's molestation. But men, they're more qualified to have their finger. That's what they tell themselves. And in America, in cult America, where cult leaders are mostly men, they just started letting cult leaders be women in some of these cults. But basically it's men dominated. Like somebody put out a stat that for a man not to have, what is it, prostate cancer, he should make love or he should have sex 27 times a week. He should ejaculate 27 times a week. So, now, imagine a man that ain't getting screwed 27 times a week with his hand near the button. But women didn't say anything. It was like, oh, they're right. I can't measure. I can't see. When I back up the car, I run over the garbage can. I lived in New York City, honey. And I could get a car into a parking spot. I could parallel park my ass off. Always have been able to do it and always will. Because it's the angle and how you set up. Oh, I forgot. In America, they ain't smart enough to know about no angles. Dang. Oh. Yeah, that's what that. How are we the weakest sex? I was thinking about it this morning when I was like, just that time with my grandmother. The whole grooming process isn't taking care of a man. If I stay down there, I'd have to have a man. It doesn't matter if he beat me every day. It wouldn't matter if he beat the kids. It wouldn't matter. The only thing that would matter is the fact that I had a man. And I could keep him. Can't keep my teeth. Can't keep my eye socket. Can't keep my bones from being broken. but I can keep a man. And down south, that's all it is. See, because if tax up here is bad for ain't got no man, tax down south is steep for I ain't got a man. You may have an ass whipping, but you'll have a man. He don't gotta pay no bills. He knows that. He don't gotta pay no bills. Because the commodity is him. They dress men down there. They dress those men tight. Okay? They give the money. Maybe a few of them work. And I'm not casting aspersions on all of them. But they don't have to. There's so many churches with so many women, and the whole spiritual thing is taking care of a man. Taking care of a man that look like Jesus. Taking care of a man that they say is God. So that's why they can go to jail, sit around in jail and don't do nothing. And women will send them cards, money, whatever they want. Because the price that they're paying is to say they have a man. He's in jail. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's in jail. You have a man. They can sit there and hear the calls come in from prison this or prison that. And they're like, oh, cool, she got a man. Doesn't matter. Go to women's house, teeth all knocked out, lip hanging to the side. Hair, fighting police reports all over the place. It doesn't matter. She has a man. And having a man, her man tax is, she does all the work and takes care of him. And make sure that he don't get blue balls. He wants 27 times a week. Probably wants more than that. I want you driving around getting food and everything. I'm trying to tell you, I'm understanding it now. The way my grandmother raised me, basically she raised me to take care of an invalid. To me, she didn't say about, you'll work together in a union, he'll go out and do the work and pay the bills, and that's why you need to be. Nope. Nope. She talked to me about getting work and generating money too. On top of the cooking and the cleaning and the sexing. She didn't say anything about, well, you stay home. The reason why you learn how to cook and clean is because your husband will go out and work. And you need to, have the place clean because he's coming in with the money. She never said that. None of my aunts never said that. Never said that. Never, ever. They said you learn how to cook and clean and take care of a man and get a job and have the babies. And what does your husband do? Or your mate does? Basically anything he wants to do. But not with me, honey. If I was dating you, you were definitely a producer. Don't think it wasn't. I wasn't messing with you. Because I was a producer. When you don't say no, you don't want to hear no. Let's put it like this. There was no testicular cancer, all that dick cancer. With me, because if you wanted, that part I was trained in. You'd been fine. The problem was, you didn't want to hold up your end of the bargain. got so good you just want to stay home and stay in bed. Now that's the thing they don't tell you about screwing around 27 times a week. He can't get out there and go do nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing. Because he's too tired. But you can get up and do stuff. Get up, make the dinner. Get up, cook the dishes. Get up, mop the floor. You can do all that after pleasing him 27 times a week. But him, it'll be harder for you to get him out of bed to go to work. I know from experience. So don't let them tease you with bullshit 27 times a week. You gave him 27 times a week, he'll be unemployed. Because he definitely ain't doing nothing. He done gave it all to you. He done gave his energy pack out. He done gave his energy pack out. But I got my podcast done. I kept fighting to the top of the rain, as J. California Cooper said in one of her stories. Fighting to the top of the rain, honey. And I did it. And they said those are the things that keep you healthy. These are the goals that I've had goals all my life. I said goals. When I was in South Carolina, and I got mad because I couldn't set goals to my life, but I didn't have control of my life. I could say I was going to do anything, but my grandmother could say something and override everything. So it was when I went off to college that I was like, oh, wait a minute. I can make goals for myself. I can complete goals just to satisfy me. I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't say like I said, now I did it. I did the podcast. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. When I had accomplishments, I had to keep it all balled up inside. And I was like, yes. So no matter all the insults, all the incesting and all that kind of stuff like that, deep down inside, I had happiness because I set goals, little goals, school goals. How many patients that I was able to get to in my time at the VA. Letter reading day. How many letters would I be able to, how many servicemen's room would I be able to go into and get their letters and stuff and sit down and read it to them? Or sometimes they would want to read books. And the books they want me to read belong in chapter and stuff like that. And I wasn't into that reason, but I would force myself to go in and read. But it was nothing because I found out after the first 2 paragraphs they'd be sleeping. So what I thought was a fear wasn't. But on the inside, I was like, I did it. You did it. You did it. You read to them. You got the letters. You were able to see all the patients on that ward that you see, and they want to see you. You was able to get all the ice and the water, and those was goals that would make me happy on the inside. So when I would come back to that little house of horrors, I would, on the inside, be beaming because I had accomplished so much. I had accomplished goals that I set for myself. Like I tell you, secret goals. But it kept me going. It kept me singing. Because remember, I was in a choir. School choir and my grandmother's choir. And it kept me singing. So I understand now what they say about different vibrations. Different, because I was tired at 8 o'clock. 8:39. I started working on the podcast at 4. But I wouldn't stop until I had a cohesive, finished product. And I do. I was just too tired to upload it to Anchor. But I'm going to do this morning when I upload the videos, which I'll be doing from now on. Because I thought it was the internet. But then I see it's not the internet, because I put it on the phone to do the connection. And that's what I usually do when I go out the house. Then I use the phone. And it went right out. So that's it. I'll just video my YouTubes. Ooh. Video my YouTubes and upload them. My Facebookies. Oh, such a great time walking with you. I miss you over the weekend, because I make sure not to do any exercise. Oh, that's when I download my videos and all kind of stuff. Let's get these hand weights. Y'all probably beat me already with the hand weights. Whew. Tuck in your elbow, squeeze your gut. Let's do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And one for good luck. Whew. Yes, indeed, y'all. Thanks for the company. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a friend. And a lot of times you can listen to me, but you know you can put on your headsets and just see my old feet is moving. Come on, let's get 10. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And one for good luck. Yeah, y'all, yeah. Whew. See that sweat coming off? I woke up late this morning. So, to be walking, thank you for the company. I didn't get in my quart of water. So, that's pretty much a bummer. So the quart I'm putting in now, that's the only quart I've had for the morning. I woke up too late. And then in the morning, that first quart, it rolls in, but it rolls out. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Yeah! 45 minutes in the house. In the hit Izzy. Yes, indeed. I'm walking. In the his Izzy. Yeah, y'all, yeah. Whew. Yeah. Let me get this quart down. Like I said, I woke up too late for my first morning quart, so this is the first quart of the day. But it would normally be the second. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Yes. Thanks for coming on the walk. Thanks for your support. If you're listening, thanks for the listening ear. If not, just thanks for the company. It's been cool here. The, you don't know, I'm sweating underneath. That's the whole purpose for the walk for me. That's my whole reason. Get these toxins out. Trying to get this stuff out the natural way. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Yeah. Whew. Yes, indeed. I'm walking. Oh, yeah. Just walking. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. I'm walking. So happy to. Yeah, almost done, y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Thank you for the company. Yeah, and it feels good when you accomplish goals. It feels so good. So I'll be putting up the podcast after I upload this video. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Water goes down, here it comes up. Walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Just walking. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. Excuse me. Thanks for coming on a walk. Tell a friend, tell an auntie, tell a cousin. Please subscribe. I want to thank y'all for coming on a walk. I can't name all your names now, but you know who you are. My Facebook friends, I appreciate you. See you tomorrow. Have a great day. Yes, indeed. I'm walking.